Hi, my name is Devin Senatiempo, and this is my SPED talk for CS 499. I'm going to be talking about web development frameworks, specifically PHP and Laravel. The World Wide Web is really a modern miracle. It's amazing to me that it works at all and boggles my mind that it works so well. It's incredibly complex, but thankfully there are many layers of abstraction that make it very easy to develop very powerful applications. There are several aspects to web development. First, you have the front end where you're dealing primarily with the presentation. However, this can be fairly complex because the web can be viewed from any screen size. Today's web applications have very dynamic user interfaces that use a lot of JavaScript. There are many front-end frameworks that help build these complex and dynamic UIs like Angular, React, and Vue. These complex applications have a lot of state management to deal with as well. And the front end also has to deal with things like caching, browser caching, and security. On the back end, there are many decisions to make. You have the operating system, hosting your server. Are you going to do it in-house, locally, or are you going to do it on the cloud? There's data storage decisions to make. You can use SQL or NoSQL to make decisions about page routing, API design, communication protocols, and of course what language you're going to use, the most popular being PHP, Node, Ruby, Java, C#, Python, and Golang. For my senior project, I am creating a full stack web application, and to be honest, it can be very intimidating. How do you manage it all? Thankfully, there are many frameworks that streamline most of the common tasks in web development. Just about every language has a really good framework for web development. And I have a list here of the most popular options. For Java, you have Spring. For PHP, you have Laravel, Cake, or Symfony. For Node, you have Express, Ruby, Rails. Python, you have Django and Flask. C#, you have .NET. And Golang, as far as I could tell, since it's built for the modern web, you don't really need a framework for it. For my project, I'm using PHP on the back end. PHP is one of the oldest languages for web development. It started out as a HTML templating language, but has matured into a very powerful object-oriented language that can do just about anything. In fact, PHP powers most of the web today, including WordPress, Facebook, Yahoo, and Wikipedia. The latest version of PHP is about 50% faster than the previous version, so even though it's a dinosaur, it still is a viable option for developing for the web today. Having written some spaghetti PHP code for a couple of school projects myself, I'm really excited to be using Laravel for my senior project. Laravel is relatively new, but it's one of the most popular and powerful PHP frameworks out there. It's a complete web development framework that makes most of the common aspects of web development much easier. Here's an incomplete list of all the things that Laravel has to offer. Laravel has a powerful templating engine that makes it easy to modularize your markup. It makes routing very simple. It includes a lot of middleware out of the box, and also makes it really easy to create your own middleware. Laravel has an object relational mapping library called Eloquent. What this is it maps objects to your database to make it really easy to interface with your database without having to write a bunch of SQL. Laravel also has libraries for task scheduling, events, and it has built-in authentication. And the last three items on this list are my favorite parts of Laravel. First, there's the command line interface that make it really easy to create most of your boilerplate and scaffolding. For example, in less than a minute, you can have a basic app skeleton up and running with authentication built in. You can use the console to do just about any task that you would need to code up in your application, so that just a few lines of code in the console can write hundreds of lines of code in your application, speeding up everything drastically. The next thing that I love about Laravel is the documentation. The documentation is really easy to use. It's up to date, lots of examples, and there's a great community behind it. And the last thing that I like about Laravel is this website called Laracast. It's a paid site, but it's relatively cheap and better than anything that I've ever found on YouTube. They got videos, they got thousands of hours of videos. So that's what I have for my presentation. I hope you learned something, and I wish you all good luck on your projects this semester. Thank you.